Hi, I'm Trent Steel, male model. You may recognize me from my advertisements in Mobility Monthly and the commercials for Infinitec, the wheelchair of tomorrow, and especially in the brand new music video from the Wheelie Boys, America's first ever all-wheelchair boy band. However, that's not why I'm here today. What I'm here today is to tell the world that I, Trent Steel, male model, am not actually handicapped. No, I'm just screwing around. Anyway, all joking aside, there really is a problem out there in the wheelchair male modeling business. Sure, you have names like BuzzSpeed and Randy Roller, these household names, so to speak, but do you know what these two guys have in common? That's right, they're both actually handicapped from birth. The point today is, I'm here to tell the world that, you know what? If a young boy has a dream to want to grow up and be a male model for wheelchair-specific media, then so be it. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Even though I'm not handicapped, I still do normal things. I'm a normal guy. I go grocery shopping, I go out to eat, I take a trip to the movies, and I hang out with friends. These are all things that someone who might be in a wheelchair would do. So my question is, what's the difference?
I've known Trent for years. We've been very close. It's always been his dream growing up to be a wheelchair model. I used to ask him though, Trent, you got two perfectly good legs. Well, why do you want to be a wheelchair model? And he would say to me, that's exactly it. God put me on this earth with a great pair of legs so I could walk over to a wheelchair, sit down, and have my pictures taken. I mean, what do you say to a guy like that? He had ambition.
I don't know, honestly. I just really feel like the industry is overdue for a change. I mean, people always tell me, hey, why don't you just go into regular male modeling? And to that I say, you know what? Take your stereotypes and shove them up your ass. Do I regret the fact that my legs work fine? Sure. I have some days where I do. But ultimately, no. I'm just a normal guy looking to break into a business that is so safeguarded by what is considered abnormal. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a trailblazer. I hope that this video will work as a way to change the way that the world sees able-bodied individuals. I resent the term capable. It makes us sound so perfect, so well-adjusted, and you know what? It's not true. I'm not by a long shot. I'm not so different from Randy Roller or any of those pretty boys on wheels. I'm just as capable of doing their job as they are. Hell, Randy's the whole reason I got into this business. It was back in the October 1995 issue of Pedal to the Metal, the #1 wheelchair digest magazine at the time. He had this beautiful double-page spread. He looked so majestic, like a beautiful phoenix in a wheelchair rolling down that handicapped ramp. Oh man, it really did something to me. Not sexually, but it did something to me. Yeah, and the next day came my very first heartbreak. I saw the spread and I had told my father, I told him I wanted to grow up to be a male model, a wheelchair male model, and he says to me, hey, why don't you go out in the driveway and I'll park my Escalade on your legs. I'll break your legs. How about that? Hey, how you like that? And he laughs in my face. And honestly, I was devastated. I looked up to the man, and hearing him say that, I just ran up to my room and I cried myself to sleep. But you know what? I wouldn't let my father crush my dreams or my legs. The next day, I bought my very first wheelchair. Well, I guess I didn't so much buy it as I stole it from the children's hospital, so to speak, and
Yeah, I remember the day he got his first wheelchair. He rolled up to my front door and he said, hey Johnny, look what I got. And I started to cry. I say, Trent, what happened to you? He says, nothing, Johnny. I got a wheelchair. Now, why don't you grab your mom's Polaroid? We take some snapshots of this baby in action.
Oh yeah, I remember that day pretty well. I kind of get a little choked up just thinking about it. But I mean, years later is when I decided to make my big move to Los Angeles for my, make my big break in the wheelchair industry. Pun intended, of course, but I mean, the thing was though, I knew how picky those talent scouts out there were, so I knew that if I wanted to get anywhere, I knew that I had to pretend to be handicapped, and that kind of meant, going the whole 9 yards, get the parking pass, don't get out of the wheelchair. I kind of had to do what I could to get somewhere, and honestly, things were going pretty good for a while. I got my first spread in Mobility Monthly, and eventually, I even got to meet the Wheelie Boys in person. Things were going great, but after the Wheelie Boys concert, I got backstage and, man, I screwed up real bad. I was waiting around for the boys to show up after the show, and I had to use the bathroom. So, without thinking about it, I got up from my wheelchair and ran to the bathroom. Their booking agent caught me get up and screamed out in shock. At that moment, I knew that my career would most likely be dead. I was blacklisted from the wheelchair community. I lost all my friends, my girlfriend, my job, and they took away my parking pass. I was forced to live my life as an able-bodied person. It was devastating.
Oh, I remember when he gave me the call that day, yeah. He was sobbing, and he told me about what happened. And I said, hey, Trent, you got a place to stay back home. But he said no. He was going to fight this. He was going to take on the entire handicapped community. It was inspiring.
I wanted to let the world know about the injustice taking place. I wanted to let the world know that I'm not the only one fighting against these handicapped fiends.